Hello everybody, Marlene, aka Snowgardener 307. We are here for another Back to the Basics video. That's right, you guys, it's Friday, so that means back to the basics. I am super excited to share today's video with you. We are going to do our final check-in for July for Sharla and her family. We are also going to talk about their August budget. You guys are going to be so amazed at what is happening in their budget. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good.
And start off with Sharla's check-in. I'm going to go ahead and put her check-in sheet right here. This is what she wrote down for everything. Sharla is super excited about all of the progress they have made. They know they still have a ways to go, but they have improved greatly. So I've got her paycheck to paycheck sheet right in front of me here, but I'm going to put it up here so that you guys can see it. So they did get a paycheck as they expected, and child support $287 is what came in. And then Sharla got her butt busy doing some sourdough bread. So she sold 9 loaves of sourdough for 90 bucks. So good job, Sharla, on that. So they did have a little bit of extra money. As we go down through here, you can see that they had to make that big balloon payment to AT&T. If you are not familiar, I recommend you go all the way back to the beginning of the series for Sharla's budget. They were behind on the car and behind on AT&T, which is their cell phones and their internet. And Sharla, with her job, has to have internet, has to have cell phone for her work. And then they're going to go ahead and put $200 towards the mortgage that's due on the 1st. And so that was exactly as budget. Everything came in as budget, except for, of course, she's got a little extra money. And then, you guys, we're going to go up to what says sinking funds, but this is actually our debt, our pay in threes. And so she had credit one, number 2 for $30, chase number 3 for $39.87, chase number 4 for $18.75. You guys, that is the final payment for the pay in for chase number 4. So another one paid off. And so everything was on budget there. She had $269.63 to bring on down. So go down this way to envelopes and digital. So here we had budgeted $30 for her hubby, $10 for son, $10 for gas for her, $90 or $100 for food. She only spent $94.53. And of course, we had still went ahead and put that money for pest control, but she had decided to cancel pest control at the beginning of the month. So she saved a little bit of money being under $100 for groceries. And I know that that was a tough one. We're going to talk about that with the August budget here in a second. I am going to flip you guys around for the August budget so that we can talk about everything, talk about Sharla's goals, kind of review what's going on. And I want to show you guys how far they have come in the past month. And so that was $144.53. So that left her with $125.10. Now, if you look over here, it says emergency $100. That wasn't planned. So she added the first $100 into her emergency save. Congratulations, Sharla, on that. I know that has to be a sigh of relief just to have everything paid and have a little bit extra going into emergency fund. And then she had $25.10 left over. And who knows, maybe she put that towards something. Maybe they went and got an ice cream. Like I said, sometimes you've got to celebrate the small successes. And if she ultimately decides to put that towards her debt, that is her choice. I do want to remind you guys, in all of these videos that I'm showing in this series, I work very closely with the individual along with their goals on what they want to achieve. I do recommend things, but it is their budget. So they ultimately make the decisions on how they want to work their budget, how they want their family to help them on their budgeting journey. And so if you are wanting somebody to help you with your budget, just so you know, I do offer this service. Sharla has been absolutely amazing. So Sharla is actually got the August budget set up for free from me because she has been so good at following through and everything. And I wish I could do this for free for everybody, but it takes a lot of time to set up a budget. And I just can't give my time away for free at this point. I wish I could. But if you need somebody to review your budget, I do have a budget review along with lots of other things. So just send me an email if you guys are interested in any of these products. And my email is snowgardener307@gmail.com. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the August budget. here we are with the August budget. Now, this is a budget kit that you can purchase online. It doesn't come filled out like hers, of course, but if you love budget kits, you know, you can grab one of these up. So the quote that I have for this one is, be sure you put your feet in the right place, then stand firm. And that's Abraham Lincoln. And I really liked that. And I just printed this double-sided. It is a digital budget form, but the good thing about digital is you can print it off if you're a paper and pen, or you can go ahead and do it digitally, have it on your tablet or whatever, and write in it using one of those. So, but you know, your calendar is a 2-page, and I printed this on my printer that is not amazing, so don't mind the lines and stuff, because of course we're just using this for the video today. And so we have got Sharla's bills all on the calendar and how she is going to pay them. And I don't know if you guys remember the calendar last month, but it was way fuller. So we've got everything by payday. And of course, I tell you guys, I credit this system right here to the Budget Mom. She's the one that helped me learn this system, where you write down all of your bills, you write down all of your paydays, and then you figure out how you're going to pay what bill with what paycheck. And so this is just a great visual so that you can see. And one thing to keep in mind, when you have larger bills, a lot of times your check might not be enough for your mortgage all at once. So you're going to see right here, mortgage, $760 today. Car, $600 today because it is Friday the 1st. And then she has Sunbit, and she has those 3 Wayfares. But then down here we see car again. Well, we've got to finish making that large car payment. She was behind on our car. So they have worked with Sharla. They have bumped her car payment up each month so that she can catch up. That's one thing, you guys. If you are in a situation where you are falling behind on bills, you are not able to pay all of your bills, you're not able to purchase food for your family, things like that, make sure you reach out to the institutions that you owe money to. A lot of times, if you are honest with them, they will help you figure something out that is going to work. And that takes a big person to be able to call a company, or even if it's somebody locally, and say, I am so sorry. We had something come up, a medical thing. We had to go out of town unexpectedly. My husband lost his job. My hours got cut. You know, anything like that. Just be honest with people. And it is really amazing, like I said, how much people are willing to help you. That is the first thing you have to do. If you are not able to put food on the table, find out about a local food bank, a pantry. Maybe there's a church in your area that will help with that. There are resources out there, and I just want to encourage you to use the resources when you need the resources, because so often there are people willing to help, but if they don't know you need help, then they're not going to be able to help you. And then, of course, on that side too, you know, use the help and then move on to, you know, getting caught up with whatever you need to do. Do what you need to do. Like Sharla, they have cut their spending immensely, right? They are not spending the money that they used to be spending. She also made sourdough, right? But she cut all of her own personal spending. They cut their groceries down. And I know somebody had mentioned, like, take the money that the husband's getting each week. I don't know what he uses that money for, but take that and put it towards debt. That's the thing. We cut his back. He was getting, I think, $75 a week. Now he's getting 25 or 30. So that is a, you know, what, 66% cut of his money. And of course, I don't know exactly what he spends it on, but again, it's not my budget. They had to decide as a couple and as a family how they were going to fix this. Another thing that I love about Sharla's story is that her 17-year-old son, who is going to be starting his senior year, had no idea what their budget was like. He had no idea. He thought that they were just being cheap when they told him no on stuff. So it opened his eyes. And I think we shelter our children and our loved ones from things that are hard because we don't want them to have to worry about it. That could even be a husband-wife situation, right? Maybe you're the husband and you do the bills and you don't want your wife to have to worry about it. So you take on all that stress and anxiety by yourself. But it's really hard to be successful in that, because if people in your family don't understand where the money's going, what money we have, what bills we have, then they may not be on the same page. And of course, being on the same page with your family is the biggest thing. So that's our calendar. And then I'm going to go ahead and move this on out of the screen. And we have got our budget plan for August. And this is a simple budget plan. But what I want to show you guys is this is our new budget plan. Here is the budget plan from this last month. Do you guys see a difference already? Yeah. Do you guys see a difference? Now, one thing I will tell you guys, this looks bigger, even though it's actually not bigger. What I have done is I have, if you'll notice here, you don't see any of these types of bills over here. I added Wayfair 1, 2, and 3 over here for the income source to make it a little bit easier to see. And of course, they're over here as well. So it's kind of like they're a double set on each side. Another thing is here, you notice I've got a car payment, $715, but over here, I've got car on here a couple times because yes, we made the car payment here for $1,080.86 with income source number 1 and number 2. But down here with income source number 5, we are going to be putting money towards our car payment that is due on the 1st. So that is one of those things that I want to make sure that you guys see that. So we've got car 913. I'm sorry, that was mortgage. We've got mortgage 91. We've got car 913. So even though this side looks bigger, it's not. I just changed the way that I was writing it down to help Sharla. The biggest difference is this over here. So you're going to see that there is a lot less over here than here, okay? And that is because the pay in fours, which we had over here, Chase number 2, Chase number 3, Chase number 4, Chase number 5, Chase number 6. We also had Walmart, Lowe's, and what else do we have? Those are credit cards. Amazon, that was a pay in four as well. There's that Walmart again. So we had all of these pay in fours over here, you guys. Right here, one thing I want you to notice is pay in four. There's only one. It's going to be paid off. Another thing I want you guys to notice is the Wayfair 1, 2, and 3 are getting paid off this month. Another thing that you need to take notice on, this is their month with 5 paydays. Another thing I want you to notice, look at the amount that we're talking about right here for August 1st paycheck, $3,800, you guys. Whereas the July 4th paychecks was only $1,713. This means huge things for their family. Sharla's husband with his job, it sounds like he works something similar like my husband, where there are times when he works his hiney off and he works a ton of hours because it's a weekly paycheck. So they've got more money to spend. They've got less bills, which is a positive. So I wanted you guys to see that. Here we are on the first paycheck to paycheck budget sheet for the month. So this is today. This is 8/1. So her husband had a larger check, and it's probably even larger than this. So I don't know the actual numbers yet. This is just what the budget is supposed to be. So his paycheck, they were budgeting for $3,000. They were budgeting for $800 for Sharla's paycheck. This is lower than normal. One thing that happened this last month and what had been happening previously is she normally gets a paycheck that's higher, but because of medical issues, because of life happening, she would get a smaller paycheck and then they would have to scramble to figure it out. So we lowered that amount by quite a bit to use in the budget. Now, if Sharla has a paycheck that's $1,200, then fabulous. You've got $400 that you can put somewhere else. And so we've got the bills. So that's $3,800. So we've got bills and we've got some good sized bills here. We've got the rest of the mortgage for today that's due today, $760. We've got Sunbit. This is a dental, $85. Netflix for $10. Car insurance, $350. Water, $100. Hulu, $96. Then we've got their son's car, $300. A couple people had suggested, hey, get rid of your son's car, sell your son's car. That is not something that is possible for them at this point. And the good news is, though, they only owe a couple more $1,000s on the car. So that is going to be paid for before too long. And then we have got, of course, another car payment here, right? This is for the car payment that's due on the 14th. Remember, I said that she was behind on her car payment, so her car payments are going to be larger for a few months until she gets caught up. Then we've got Wayfair 1, 2, and 3, which equals bill amounts of $2,364.38. Now, I realized after I printed this, and I'm sure Sharla caught it as well, I forgot to put the 1 in here. So I only had $435.62 left. And I was like, that's not right. I can tell by looking at it, that's not right. So they've got $1,435.62 left after paying all of the bills that they need to pay. So we're going to go into the envelopes. Now we've got hubby still only at $25. Her son, $40. So they're getting ready to start school. This is gas money. This is things like that. She's also put haircuts back into the budget for her boys, $35, $25 for Sharla's gas. Food, we bumped it up to $125 a week instead of $100. This is still a very small budget for a family of 4. They have 2 teenage boys, so that's still a very small budget. Now, next month, I anticipate we'll bump it up a little bit more because there will be more debt that's paid off. So $125. And wow, I can't type. So that is supposed to say son copay. And so there we go. Now it says copay. So we've got some medical stuff going on, $86. We've got meds for the family, $224. We've got a weight loss appointment for $75. So in these categories right here, we need $635. That still leaves $862. So now we're going to roll up here, you guys. And this is actually sinking funds now. This is not debt. This is not pay it in forward. This is sinking funds. This is something that Sharla and I talked about a few times. And of course, as I said, I recommend getting all the debt paid for and then doing sinking funds. However, she was not comfortable with that. And I get that. And there was quite a few of you that said, hey, you know what? You should probably let them do some sinking funds. And of course, I didn't stop them from doing anything. This was up to them to determine what they wanted to do because this is a larger budget. Sinking funds got added in. And so her son is starting school. They've got football that's starting up. Her son plays football. They have to pay to get into the games and stuff. So family fun, $100. That is what that's for, is for football and to go support her son. Then we have clothing, $300. This is for back to school clothes. Now, if you know, $300 for 2 teenage boys isn't much, but they do live in a state where it is warm for quite a while. So they're starting off with just a few new things. And then when the budget gets better and the weather starts to turn a little bit colder, they'll buy some more clothes. We've got $100 for medical. We also have $20 for gifts. They had a birthday coming up that they wanted $20 cash for. Then I put a bunch of sinking funds in here with zero. These are sinking funds that Sharla and I have talked about. She wants Christmas fund, a vet fund, car maintenance, Christmas. Oh, I put Christmas in there twice. Look at that. We really want to save up for Christmas, Sharla. Bulk stock up. This is like for pantry, you know, like if you can buy stuff when it's on sale and you've got a little bit of extra money. If chicken's on sale for $1.99 a pound instead of $4.99 a pound, you can buy an extra 20 pounds. That's what that's for. We've got date night. We've got kids, fishing fund for her husband, giving, and garden/yard. So right here, we're putting $520 into the sinking fund, which gives us $280.62 left. This is a little bit of breathing room right here. This is a little bit of money to spend on things that, you know, at this point, Sharla does consider our needs. And so debt right now on this paycheck, no extra debt. So we've got $280.62 that's going to roll down here, and we've got emergency fund, and we're putting $275 into the emergency fund. This was going to be the beginning of the emergency fund, but I just showed you guys that Sharla already put $100 in there. So we're going to bump that up, and we're now at $375, right? So that leaves $5.62. So that's the first budget. We have shaken things up. We have moved things around quite a bit. Now let's go ahead and get into the second budget. This one is a smaller budget. Now I know one thing is that they were anticipating her husband to have a paycheck of $2,000. Sharla today had told me that she's not sure it's going to be $2,000. She thinks it might be $1,500. So I'm going to talk to Sharla about that, but we're going to show you exactly what we've got here, and then we're going to see what we can do about that possible lower amount. And I have a feeling that maybe these ones are a little bit bigger, so I'll talk to Sharla about that and see. So we're just going to walk through this right here. So we've got $2,000 for her husband's paycheck, $287 for child support. Then we're going to walk through the bills. We've got electricity. We've got AT&T, right? We already paid AT&T $900 and some dollars. Yes, I know, but we're catching up on bills that were behind. We've got the rest of her car payment. We've got Wayfair 1, 2, and 3. We've got some credit cards here. Capital One Platinum, Capital One Cabela's. We've got Care Credit. We've got Capital One Quicksilver for $25. And we're starting to get money set aside already for the mortgage. So that means our bills are $1,944.57, which leaves us $342.48. We jump down here. All we see is hubby gets $25, and we've got that $125 for food. So that's $150. We've got $192.48 here. You can see here that all of the sinking funds are empty. And obviously I just copied and pasted that. So we've got Christmas on there twice. You guys know I am Christmas crazy. So I put it on there twice. So we've still got the $192.48. Nothing for debt still. And we've got emergency fund is going to get $190. And so this right here we know is actually $100 higher. So we've got $565 in emergency fund. If you haven't figured it out, the first goal is to get a baby emergency fund of $1,000. Well, the first goal was pay all the bills on time, get caught up on bills that we're behind on. right? We did that in July. All the bills got paid on time. We're continuing to work on catching up. Now we're doing that $1,000 emergency fund. And I know so many people hate that number, $1,000, because they think that that's no way that that's going to be enough for an emergency. You're right. It's not enough. It wasn't enough when Dave Ramsey started suggesting it, 30 years ago? I don't know. I don't know how long Dave Ramsey has been suggesting it. It's never meant to be enough. It's just meant to have something there that if something happens and you need like a new car battery, right? It's going to cover something like that. You've got a medical payment that you need to make that's $200. It's going to help with that. And so it's never meant to be enough to cover all emergencies. We're not in that phase yet. But $565 in the emergency fund, a week from now, how amazing is that? So $190, $2.48 there. We're not leaving a ton of money in the budget. And then we come into here and we have got our paychecks for $815.25. So we've got husband's paycheck, wife's paycheck, again, lower amounts for her paycheck. And we've got mortgage, we've got AT&T. Oh, wait, we just paid AT&T. We know, but guess what? I believe this right here is it, and they are caught up, you guys. They were almost 4 months behind on that bill, and they are already going to be caught up. We've got Wayfair 1, 2, and 3. Here is that final pay in 4, you guys. Chase number 3 paid off. Chase 1, 2, 3, 4 all paid off. Those were the last pay in 4s. We do still have the Wayfair, but that's every week. So that's not even a pay in 4 thing. And then we've got credit cards. We've got Merrick for $32, Credit One, number 1 for $30, Chase for $40, Amazon credit card $29, Capital One Kohl's $30, Credit One, number 2. When you are on a credit journey, you always want to make sure that you're doing at least your minimums to every card. And so the bill's right here, $1,519.25, and we've got $394.62. Now we're going to scroll down here. You're going to see we got a few more things down here. Hubby's got $25, son is getting $40, haircuts $35, gas for Sharla $25, and food for $125. You're going to see son, haircuts, and gas on the paydays where both husband and wife get paid. That's how they have set that up. And so then here we've got $250 going there. We've got $144.62. We've got all of our sinking funds, which still shows 0. The reason why I put these here is if something happens and Sharla has a great paycheck, one of the things that we talked about is that she can start funneling some of the stuff into the sinking fund, making extra debt payments if she wants to. But that's why I want those there to inspire Sharla to see it and go, okay, I want to start these sinking funds. We've got to stay on our journey. We've got to stay on our path. Even if we get small little detours, we've got to get back on the path, right? If there's a big mountain that we need to climb, we're going to have to climb up that mountain and get back on the path where we're supposed to be. So we've still got $144.62. No extra debt scheduled at this time. Emergency fund, $140. So we have got $705 in the emergency fund on the 15th. That's 2 weeks away, you guys. 2 weeks away, $705. We've got $4.62 left. And then we jump into $822. So we've got our paycheck, we've got our child support, $14.87. And we've got car, we've got Wayfair number 1, 2, and 3, okay, which is only $423.66, which means that we've got $977.21 left. Down here, we've got $25 for hubby, $125 for food, $150, $827, you guys. We're rolling this over here. Nothing in sinking funds budgeted, but we are starting our debt snowball. 3 weeks, we're starting our debt snowball, and we're starting it off with a punch in the face. Now, this is not technically a debt snowball because a debt snowball is smallest to largest. Sharla wanted to concentrate on getting the Wayfairs paid for first because it is a large amount between the 3 and they're paid every week. And I totally agreed with Sharla. Now, Wayfair number 3, I think Wayfair 3 and 2 would have been at the bottom anyway, but this is what she decided to do. So Wayfair number 1, balance $445.57, $100. Wayfair number 2, we're paying $188.26. That's going to be paid off, you guys. Wayfair number 3, we're paying $137.52. That's paid off. One thing, and I told Sharla this, I don't know the exact amounts for interest and stuff like that. So this is the numbers, the best that I could figure out. So these might be a little bit different. So her actual budget when we see it might be a little bit different because I don't know how Wayfair figures the interest. I believe she said they charged all the interest at once they didn't pay it within the 60, 90 days they were supposed to, but I don't know if it continues accruing interest, and it's really hard to figure that out. So if you guys see some different numbers there, that's why Sharla and I talked about this. She knows that. So that's $425.78 extra going to debt, $401.43. And you guys, you know what? Right here, we said that $395 was going to the emergency fund. We only need $295 to go to the emergency fund, right? And so what I recommend to Sharla is I recommend right here paying an extra $200. And I will probably talk to Sharla about this and talk to her about next paycheck and go ahead and make a few corrections, like take Christmas off of here twice and do a couple things and probably reset this budget for her and, you know, the next couple ones, because I've already got these figured. It's super easy to go in really quick and fix that and just put it in there. And so you guys, we've got a fully funded emergency fund. We have got 2 more debts fully paid off that we're not going to see in the budget anymore. And we're working on the 3rd. Now, after the Wayfair, we are going to snowball it, and it's going to add up. And these 3 payments here for the snowball, wait till you guys see that. It's absolutely amazing. So here we are, $829. We've got the 2 paychecks. So we've got $1,913.87. We've got mortgage, Sunbit, Netflix, insurance, water. We've got Wayfair number 1 still, right? Capital One Platinum, Capital One Cabela's, and Care Credit. So for bills, we've got $1,272.80. We've got $641.07 left. We jump down here. It looks the same, right? You guys, hubby, son, haircuts, gas, food. And so that's $230. We've got $411.07 left. Nothing into sinking funds. Wayfair number 1 paid off, right? Now, I'm going to talk to Sharla. Like I said, we most likely will be able to start on debt number 4 in the snowball, because this should be $100 less. So we're going to be able to add $100 towards our next debt because of her doing her sourdough. So if she does her sourdough once a week or even a couple times a month, look at how much it can really add up. I know when Sharla started this, she was drowning and she couldn't see even the top of water. She was so far. And of course, when we get to that point, it's so hard to see that we can possibly get out of the hole that we've dug ourselves in. We can't even see the top of the hole sometimes. And that's what these budgets help, because you start to see results. Now, depending on the money you have, it might take longer. Like Sharla's husband getting a good paycheck today helped immensely. If you can pick up an extra job, if you can do a side hustle like making some sourdough, maybe you can go mow lawns, maybe you can, go clean somebody's house, watch children, go get another job, anything like that, it really makes a huge difference. So, like I said, we'll have to do a little adjusting there. And then she also gets a cash envelope breakdown that she can make copies of and fill out for herself if she wants to. And then we've got our debt snowball. You guys, right here, I broke this down for Sharla. I want to show you guys all of the debt snowball. And so, of course, like I said, truly, this right here is not a debt snowball, because if you look, we have got this $692.77 and this $251 above this credit 1. Okay. So in her debt snowball check-in, I just wrote down really quick what her payments would be. So Wayfair number 3, her balance on 7/25, that's when she gave me all of her debt balances, was $180.48. She has these weekly payments, right? Weekly payment, weekly payment, weekly payment, weekly payment. Well, here we are, debt snowball. We're going to pay $137.52 and pay it off. Same thing with Wayfair number 2. Then we've got Wayfair number 1. So you can see how I broke it down. We've got payment, 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 extra payment, payment, extra payment, paid off. Then we jump into the actual snowball. Her debt snowball payment, with having these 3 paid off, is going to be $253.52 a month. So we look right here, credit 1, she made a $30 payment on it, which took it down to $215.11. However, there's interest. I don't know what the interest is going to be. So Sharla can write the date that the interest hits. She can add the interest back in. And then in September, she's going to already have another card paid off, if not more, obviously. And so that's the first page. Then we've got page 2, where we've got everything. We've got Chase, we've got Cabela's, we've got Amazon, we've got Quicksilver, we've got Credit One. And we have got Kohl's, Platinum, Merrick, and Care Credit. I had a heart attack when I saw Sharla's Care Credit. She had made a mistake and put an extra 1 in there. And so she doesn't owe $11,000. I was like, oh my God, should you have to use your Care Credit for some medical stuff? And it had went up a little bit, but it went up $10,000 and I was freaking out. She made a mistake, just like me. We all make mistakes. So it's only $1,401, thank goodness. And on my Debt Snowball sheets, I have down here at the bottom a quote that I love by Babe Ruth. It says, it's hard to beat a person who never gives up. And when you are working on debt, when you are working on things that seem like they are impossible, you cannot give up. If you give up and you've dug yourself part way out of the hole, but not all the way out of the hole, then the whole process starts over again and the dirt just keeps collapsing on top, and it's just not a good thing. So you can't ever give up. Then we've got emergency fund, monthly check-in right here. This is something that I've got for my debts as well. This is part of the budget kit. Right here, this is one of the things right here that I love is my whys. Why do I want to have an emergency fund? Why do I want to be debt-free? Right here, I didn't set goals for Sharla, but she can if she wants. Obviously here, we've got that $1,000 emergency fund, but her starting balance is $1,000. Maybe her next goal is $2,000. How much does she want to put towards it every time? We are working on debt right now, so we're pausing this. But you guys, having things written down helps so much. Okay, so here's the notes right here and my recommendations that I sent to Sharla. So our first goal number 1, pay all bills and stay current on bills. Check, right? Check, we're doing that. Goal number 2, $1,000 emergency fund. Check, we're done with that. Goal number 3, start debt snowball. Wayfair 1, 2, and 3 first, then smallest debt to largest, because that is what Sharla wanted to do. And I agree with her. Those weekly payments were killing them. And then here we've got goal number 4, start sinking funds. These are at the same time. Just because 1 is 3 and 4 doesn't mean that 3 has to be done before 4. Right here, I said if your paycheck is over budget, continue adding to your debt snowball to pay off debt while slowly adding money to sinking funds. $1,000 emergency fund. This goal is met and is on pause until debt is paid off. This can change anytime. Sharla can be like, you know what, Marlene? I want $2,000. I've paid off half of my debts. I want to change that. So credit card debt. I told her this month you will pay off Wayfair number 1, number 2, and number 3. You may be able to pay off both the credit one, number 1, and Chase if your paychecks are higher. To pay both of these off, you only need an additional $543.11, not including interest. See Debt Snowball plan for details on which debt to start with after you pay off Wayfair. Then I've got sinking funds. Slowly add to sinking funds as you work your way through the debt snowball. If your paychecks are higher, adding even $5 to $20 to a fund can add up. So you guys, what do you think? Isn't Sharla just doing amazing? The difference between month 1 and month 2 is staggering. And just remember, that first month, she ended up in the hospital. Paycheck was short. They still were able to make it work. They had a bump in the road. They had a detour. They didn't give up. They continued working. They continued staying focused on the goal. I know one thing Sharla said is that she's got the budget on the fridge so that herself, her husband, her son, they can see that sitting there, staring them in the face so they don't forget. So I want to congratulate Sharla and her family for staying on their path, doing what they need to do to get back to a better financial situation. I appreciate all of the kind comments that you guys put down below for Sharla. I know that has been helping her as well. We are helping her by holding her accountable. And that is why I started YouTube when I did. I started it to have fun, but I also wanted my YouTube following, which was very small, to help me stay on track for my budget. You guys, I had almost $50,000 in credit card debt. I was a hot disaster with money. I put things on credit cards that is ridiculous. I have no idea how much interest I paid on fast food, chai teas, stupid stuff. But I saw the light, and because of YouTube and because of audiences like you, I was able to make a difference in my life. And I know now that this is going to make a huge difference in Sharla's life and her family's life. So thank you guys for tuning in today. And until I see you guys next time, remember to keep on smiling. Bye, everybody.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, grow hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.